Now let's go to the leads management part. Once your lead request finish, everything lands here in leads management. This is your center database. Every lead that you ever scrape, every call that has been made, every outcome of those calls, it all lives here. So when you submit a request, you'll see the status indicator. It's here up there where it says scraping, enrichment, verifying, and complete. This means that we're looking for data in Google Maps, Yellow Pages, and other public sources to enrich the database so you have as much information to do your prospecting. Enrich means we're using third-party tools to find decision makers, phone numbers, and emails. Verifying means that we're checking those emails don't bounce. You still should use your own verifier tool. Same with phone numbers. When it's complete, your leads are ready. The whole process usually takes a few minutes depending on how many leads you requested. Here's the problem this solves. If you ever hire an SDR, a cold caller, an appointment setter, you know this is usually a high turnover position. When someone leaves your company, where do they store all the databases and all their prospecting efforts? How do you know which prospect did they call? Which ones did they not? You have no visibility. Well, now Prospects in Motion changes that. Every lead, every call, every outcome is stored here in this system, so you never lose any opportunity and your team can change, but the data will stays. So let's talk about how do you find what you need. You got filters across the top, categories, industries, zip codes, city, state, disposition, request by, contact, and a little bit more here. If you want to see what you build in construction, filter by category construction. So you can come here and click construction. If you want to filter by any specific zip codes, in addition to construction, you can choose any zip codes you want and find companies in these zip codes that do construction. You can also go and request it by, and you will have all the users here. So you're gonna choose the user, and you can see who built that databases. Now, this disposition filter is especially useful. You can see leads with no disposition yet, meaning that they haven't been called, or filter by specific outcomes. Not interested, callback, in-house, using competitor, and so on. This is all customizable to you, and all of this information comes from your CRM or dialer. You can also filter by upload status. So you can see here if the upload to dialer or not, because we can connect, as you can see here, with any dialer, and just with one click, upload your leads to the dialer. So we'll clean all the filters, and I can choose here all the leads that I want. And if I click here, upload to the dialer, I can choose to which person I will upload this contact, so the caller can start calling immediately once I upload to the dialer. You can do the same with CRM. Now, let me spend a minute on disposition, because this is where Prospect in Motion become powerful. A disposition is the outcome of a call. When your caller finishes a call, they mark what happened to that call. Appointment book, not interested, not answer, or using a competitor, do not call, and so on. So if you start tagging all the leads with your disposition, you have control over what's happening with your prospecting efforts. Prospect in Motion is connected to your dialer or CRM, as you can see here where it says upload to Zoho. In this case, they use Zoho, or upload to a dialer, which we can connect with most dialers. These positions syncs automatically. Your caller marked not interested in the dialer, and it show up here in Prospect in Motion, because there is a two-way communication and no manual entry. Here's why this matters. I can click with this position with competitor, and I can see all the companies that have been using competitors that we identify with our cold outreach efforts. Now, if I click on DI, I can also see a lot of information about this prospect. I can see the disposition history, what has happened. So in this case, they have called leads 5 times so far. There is conversations that I can listen, and I can also see a little bit the information. No? So these are residents in. I can see also the property in a satellite view. So it's a big property. It makes sense that would be very lucky of us if we get this prospect on the first call. And I can go to Google Maps and also see the location. And this is very helpful when you start booking appointments. You have all the information you need here because, again, these dispositions tells us most of the story. And I can go here, appointment book, and before attending the appointment, do a little bit of research by clicking on the little eye. If you've been doing this for a year, you have thousands of these warm leads mapped out. That's a pipeline that you can work forever. So now that we understand the leads filters and we can see all the categories, industries, disposition, requested by, we can see that we can upload to Zoho or any CRM and any dialer. So finally, you have columns. In columns, you have everything that you can see. If you scroll to the right, you can add or get rid of whatever you want to simplify a little bit your information. And you can see dispositions, you can see callback dates, you can see call recordings. And now you don't have to jump into the dialer, and you will see in next videos how these analytics play into your prospect. So this is how we listen to the calls. And as we progress, we'll have AI call analysis, transcripts, and much more. Hope you enjoy it and see you in the next video.